gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tu in mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus. Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Amen.
So it came to pass, writes Joseph Campbell, in the end and to our day, Mary became the sole inheritor of all the names and forms, sorrows and joys, and consolations of the Goddess Mother in the Western world. And all in spite of her official status within the Church. This, of course, is the way with archetypes. As we have said many times, they have a life of their own. For some, it is incorrect to link the Virgin to the past in this way. But what is clear is that Marian devotion has existed from the very beginning of Christianity, despite periodic attempts by Church Fathers to minimize her significance, along with other key women, like Mary Magdalene, who were close to Jesus. The earliest known depiction of the Virgin Mary can be found on the walls of the catacombs under the city of Rome, dating back to the 2nd century. Her popularity and veneration continued to grow, and in the 12th and 13th centuries expanded exponentially in Western Europe. Who knows what the variables truly were? Some speak of a 12th century Renaissance. In part, it emerged because vast numbers of men were away at the Crusades, and noble women were often left in charge of the European courts. This was certainly true in France, where Eleanor of Aquitaine famously established the courts of love and drew up codes of etiquette for the practice of platonic liaisons between lords and ladies. It was a time of chivalry and high romance, of the Grail legends, of travelling troubadours and Sufi love poetry brought up into France from Spain's Iberian Peninsula. It was Dante's time too, out of which his own poetic style, the sweet new Tuscan style, grew and flourished, in which he first expressed his deep, deep love for the Lady Beatrice. Veneration of the Virgin blossomed within this more feminine world. Saint Bernard of Clairvaux identified her as the bride in the Song of Songs in the Old Testament. She was revered as the Queen of Heaven, mystical rose, gate of heaven, morning star, refuge of sinners, queen of peace. There were pilgrimages to her shrines all across Europe. In Britain, people flocked to Walsingham in Norfolk, which became a major destination for pilgrimage. Yet devotion to the Virgin found its most sublime expression in the French cathedrals, which were frequently dedicated to Our Lady, and many cities, such as Siena, place themselves under her protection. And it was against this background that paintings of the Virgin's Annunciation and her coronation in heaven proliferated. These were the days when artistic endeavour was directed exclusively to sacred themes. The images were thought to bring the viewer into the numinous field of the beyond, and so reconnect them with the sacred. And it is a view, by the way, still held in the Greek Orthodox Church in relation to its icons. As the Renaissance approaches, we see a gradual moving away from these notions and modes, characterized by highly stylized figures, very often set against flat gold backgrounds, symbolizing the incorporeal realms. The image of the Annunciation evolves, as we shall see.